everybody, and welcome to Women Changing Our World. I am Kelly.
I'm Jamie. Good morning.
It's finally Sunday on our Monday morning.
I know. It is Monday. I can't believe it's a new week.
It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week.
I'm feeling great this week.
You seem like it.
I'm feeling good. I feel like things are happening. I'm making positive changes.
And you started, you made yourself an office at home, which I think probably helped.
I think so too. I made myself an office at home. I love it so much. I've been spending a lot of time there. Very relaxing. But I took your advice and I did not get a comfortable chair.
See, that's what I said. I'm like, Jamie, you can't have a comfortable chair in there. What's going to happen is you're going to be like, I'm just going to sit in this comfortable chair for a quick minute, and then you're going to like take a nap.
Yes. So I got a very uncomfortable chair, and I have it like a leftover chair that was in my house, and it's very uncomfortable, so I actually sit there and work.
See?
And I'm feeling really good about it.
I'm happy.
There's a lot of light in there. I'm feeling good. I'm getting a lot done.
Good. I feel like I'm slouching.
Are you?
I don't know.
I hope the dog, I got a really pretty rug, and I'm hoping that Bronx doesn't poop on it. It's like one of those.
Good morning, Kimberly. She's on saying good morning. Sun's shining there as well.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, Jay, about your dad saying you're looking great.
Oh, thanks, Dad. I don't have the cadoozle on my head if you were listening before. Although I am a fan of the cadoozle. You have some new hair today.
New color.
Look at
new
this.
Summer color.
I love it so much. It looks amazing.
So I sent a picture to my parents
Yes.
after I got it done. It's like the one I posted online. So my dad just texted back, "Oh, wow." And I have yet to get a reply from my mother. So I'm thinking,
what if your mom was like, "Who is this?"
No, she's, listen, my mom is lovely and wonderful. She's pretty conservative.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really understand everything.
You think she's just going to ignore you till your hair goes back to blonde? And then
she
she's
won't
like,
ignore me.
"Oh, hey, Kelly, how are you?" And then tell you ripping. She's like, "Please stop texting me. I don't know who this is."
No. And I got new glasses.
I know. I think it's the mix of the glasses and the hair that's very vibing today.
Is it throwing you off?
No, I like it. It looks very funky. It's very good. I'm like feeling it.
Thank you. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. Shout out to Vonda. Killing it.
Vonda's my hairdresser.
Color.
She's amazing.
I know. I got to go to Vonda. Dad, I know.
Yeah, go to Vonda. Vonda was the one that was always like, Kelly, it took us forever to get you this blonde. Don't mess it up. We can't dye it any other color. So then she was over at my house doing my hair like a month ago. She was like, how do you feel about going pink? And I was like, oh, I'm so glad you said that. She was like, why didn't you ask me? I was like, because you already yelled at me about not changing my hair color. So like I was too afraid to ask you.
Vonda's awesome. She
great.
is amazing. We have some great people here today. So Joanne Hill is with us this morning. I'm so excited. She wrote an amazing book called Secret Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
This is all
a guide to the weird, wonderful, and obscure.
I know. So she has lots of good stuff to tell us.
Well, let's call her. What are we waiting for?
Well, I was waiting for you to finish up about your hair topic. I didn't want to cut us
about the hair. Let's hear about the secrets in D.C.
Secrets of D.C. I can't wait. I would love to go on a tour with her. Wouldn't it be fun to like tour all over D.C. with her?
Yes.
I know. We got to get this COVID thing over with so we can travel.
Yeah, okay, and then after we talk to JoAnn, we might have another interview. I don't know if we will. I want to talk about the masks.
Yes. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being here. We are so excited.
Well, thanks for having me on this beautiful Monday morning. The sun is shining. It's gorgeous outside.
I know, it's supposed to be like in the 90s this weekend.
Fantastic day.
I know. It's going to be in the 90s. My aunt is visiting this week, so of course it's going to be like 150 degrees. And she's going to be like, let's travel everywhere. Let's go to D.C. And I'm going to be like, awesome.
Then you can use this book.
Yeah.
But before we get started, for all of our viewers who don't know you, tell us who you are, what you do, and why you are so amazing.
Excellent. I can certainly do that. So my name is Joanne Hill, and I am the author of Secret Washington, D.C., A Guide to the Weird, Wonderful, and Obscure. And so I just came out with this book on April 1st, and I'm so excited to share. And you should come to D.C., and then you can go to all these amazing places.
I know.
And all about these crazy controversies and scandals I'm going to share about.
I'm super excited. How did you get into this?
Yes.
Like, are you like prone to the weird and the wacky? Are you interested in that? Like, what's the deal?
Okay, so, well, I am now. I can tell you that. I have been a blogger for a while. So for years, I've been writing about travel and DC dining and DC places and so forth. And so over a decade ago, my husband and I travel quite a bit. And so we met another couple in Egypt. They're from Texas. And the wife, her name is Christine. She and I have kept in touch quite a bit. And she's also a writer, and she does a lot of marketing in Texas. She reached out to me a couple years ago asking me if I would be interested in writing a DC travel book, because she wrote a book about Galveston, Texas. Yeah. And so that kind of led me to this book. And so she hooked me up with her publisher, which is, of course, now my publisher. And they asked me to write this book. And, of course, I was very excited to. But I learned a lot about DC and beyond DC, right? So when you live here, of course, you go to the museums, the monuments, memorials, and that's fantastic. And, of course, draws locals and visitors alike. But this book kind of made me go really much deeper and delve a little bit deeper into its secret past and secrets and controversies and scandals, which DC has a lot of scandals.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a new way, even if you live in DC or the surrounding areas and you've already done all this stuff. This book is so fascinating that you can pick it up and kind of use it as a different tour through DC. And so you're experiencing new things and seeing DC in a whole different way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll tell you some stories, but what's fun is that I try to write about places that most people wouldn't know about at all, right? So off the beaten path locations, a lot of places outside. I wrote a lot of this book during COVID, so I had to make sure that I could get to those places and that my readers could also get to those places. But then I found really fun hidden stories about places that we all go to, so different monuments, memorials, and museums, and so forth. So it kind of gives you a little bit about, the hidden gems, but also secretive stories about the places that we all know about.
Ooh. So what are some of your very favorite or most interesting?
So one of my favorites is the American Indian Museum is definitely a favorite museum that we all go to on the mall. And so my favorite story is that it's actually built on a former brothel.
I love that.
Yes. So this brothel was owned by a woman. Her name was Marian Hall. And she was one of the most prosperous and successful, not just brothel owners, but really business owners back in the day in DC, which was so uncommon, especially for women, right? Yeah. And so during the Civil War, a lot of soldiers, a lot of men traveled into the city. And so, of course, brothels became very, very popular. And at one point, there were about 100 brothels in DC.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of ladies.
That is a lot of ladies.
A lot of ladies. And they were pretty concentrated. There was this area between Capitol Hill and Federal Triangle that was called Hooker's Division.
Oh.
And so a lot of these brothels and, of course, bars and so forth were concentrated around this area and so forth. And so Marian Hall, she was a brothel owner, but she was really still respected and was very prestigious. She was a socialite. She was, considered the elite. And she took good care of her girls. She made sure that they had, medical care. She made sure they were taken care of very well. She wanted to really protect her, her assets.
Yeah, her assets.
Assets, you like that? So she was she was amazing. So she's a pretty fascinating woman to learn about. So that's one of my favorites. Should I keep going?
Yeah. Going. What about some hauntings?
Oh, are there any hauntings?
Yeah.
So it's not too far from the American Indian Museum, of course, is the Supreme Court, right? So they're pretty much in the same area in D.C. And the Supreme Court used to be a prison back in the day. It was the old Capitol Prison. And so at this prison, a lot of people who were in prison were spies, among other people. But there were a lot of spies in prison there, and they actually, two famous spies who were there were females. And so Rose O'Neal was one of probably the most famous spies who was incarcerated at this prison. She and her daughter were imprisoned there for 5 months. But of course, they still ran covert operations, and she was really, really integral in the Confederate victories and so forth. And so she was this pretty cunning spy. She used her looks, she used her glamour, she used all of her beguiling skills and ways to kind of, bedazzle everyone. And then there was this other spy named Belle Boyd, she was really crafty. What she would do is that she would share intel and get intel by, there were people on the street who would like throw her rubber balls, and then she would sew in secrets and information and intel.
And interesting.
Yeah. So women were really pivotal during the Civil War. I don't know if women get as much credit as they should during this time for some good, some bad, but integral nonetheless.
So how did you find these interesting kind of unknown stories?
So lots of different ways. The first thing I did was I reached out to a couple of friends who I know who are historians and tour guides, and they graciously met with me over coffee or over Zoom or, and they gave me so many amazing stories. They were like, you should look into this, look into that, and look into this. So that kind of started everything. And then I started going on walking tours. Before COVID, I went to museums. So I would speak with docents and museum curators. I talked to a lot of tour guides. But then, stories lead to other stories. So as you're researching one story, I would discover another story and so forth. So it was a lot of people who helped me, and then a lot of extensive research. But it was so fun, so fascinating. There were stories I wanted to tell that couldn't even make it into the book because I found so many amazing.
Wow.
Book 2.
That's right.
Maybe a book 2. Who knows? I'm lucky to live in a city that also has so many incredible stories and so much history, right? Because a lot of DC's history really is America's history, right?
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot about Mary Todd Lincoln. She is she was really involved in seances.
Ooh.
And so, So during the Civil War, that's the other thing. During the Civil War, there were a lot of obviously a lot of devastation and so forth, but also a lot of just pretty fascinating stories that revolved around the Civil War. And so Mary Todd Lincoln, she would participate in a lot of spirit circles, which of course we refer to as seances, because during that time, a lot of individuals would look to these spirits and mediums and so forth to try to connect with individuals that they had lost. So she was trying to reconnect with their son, Willie, who had died. And so she would go to these seances and try to reconnect. And of course, her husband, Abraham Lincoln, sometimes would go with her, not because he really believed in the occult, but more because he was very doubtful and wanted to kind of go and check out its credibility and to make sure his wife wasn't getting duped.
Sure.
And what do you know? She was kind of getting duped, right?
Sure.
They looked into for sure, right? So there was one particular medium that he had his doubts about, and so he enlisted journalists and friends and so forth, and they discovered that he was a fraud, right? And so they tried to kind of like out Mary Todd Lincoln and kind of like let everyone know that she was going to these seances. But they, of course, kind of try to keep it in a wraps and so forth. So they kind of, squashed that. But it wasn't a huge secret because a lot of people went to these seances. Like, it wasn't as taboo as, we might think it is, just because so many individuals were doing this, even the richest and the most elite. So pretty fascinating.
So fascinating. Yeah. People are saying road trip. Now they want to get your book and do a road trip to DC.
Now, this is the time to come, right? It's spring. The weather is still great. It's not too hot.
So in your book, is there kind of like a roadmap? Like if I wanted to take your book and do a tour, do you kind of lay out a roadmap of how I do it?
That's a great question. I do not. And, partially because this book is part of a series. So there's, Secret Chicago, Secret St. Louis, and so forth. And so I wrote the Washington one. And so there is like a certain format that the publisher uses. And so, you do have to kind of follow that, those guidelines, the format. So the format's great though, in the sense that like every entry is 2 pages. It's very concise, very short. Gives you but I give you information about like, where it is, cost if there's any, how to get there, hours of operation. But no roadmap. However, I can certainly give you some more information if you want to kind of.
You should totally conduct a tour.
That's what I talked to her earlier about. I was
when like COVID,
should do like a tour, so you can like essentially you're reading your book.
Yeah,
but
you could
like
do
to people on the tour,
right? Private tours and like take people around.
Yes,
that would be
agree.
Amazing.
Now that you mention it, I'm actually teaming up with. I should put you in touch with her. Her name is Katie Kirkpatrick, and she runs Off the Mall tours. She's an incredible tour guide. she and I have met, and we are actually going to be running tours together and doing different neighborhoods.
Yes.
Right? Secrets of Capitol Hill, Secrets of DuPont Circle. And we're going to team up starting in June and do one tour per month. So I'll send you that information as we
maybe Jamie and I can come down for one of the tours, and we'll just like live Facebook and live Instagram the tour.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. Yes, I will send you the information. You can pick and choose which tours you want to come to. We would love to have
That would be so much fun.
And we can wear a GoPro, and we'll just like live stream it while on the tour with our GoPro.
Like a little headlamp. Or like, here we go, Joanne.
Yeah.
I don't think we're crawling through caves on this tour, Kelly. I think it's more like
No, but I don't want to hold the phone the whole time. Right? I'll just connect it to my GoPro.
Like live footage from the scene, right? Step by step. How cool.
Yes. I could, that breaking news. We could do it like a news story. I love this so much. I think this book is so cool. I love to learn about all like weird facts about certain places. Like even here where we live in Virginia, like in Charlottesville, there's all kinds of like history and weird things.
And it's a great gift for anybody who lives in DC or who is going to travel to DC. It's like an easy read, and it's super fun, and it's fast paced, and it's one of those where like, you know, you're getting ready to go to bed, you can read one or two of the entries.
Yes.
And it's not like you're like, you know, stuck reading a book for like, 20 hours.
That's right.
That's absolutely right. And I think what's also great is I tried to have a nice balance between the scandals and the controversies that I shared today, but also family-friendly ones too. So one of my friends, she actually reads an entry to her kids who are, range between like ages 8 and 13 every night. She picks and chooses, of course, which entries to read. She's not really choosing the brothel stories.
Yeah.
But, they're short and concise that you can read them. My dad said that that's what he likes. He doesn't like that it's, they're not 300-page,
Yes. I like that too when I read a book. Like short and concise, like depends on, you don't want to go through the whole history.
Yeah, like I don't want to do all that.
No.
Right. And you also don't have to read them in any order, right?
Yeah.
You can pick and choose which ones interest you. There are going to be ones that interest certain people more than others, right?
Yes.
And that's great. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
What is next for you? The tours? And are you going to write another book?
Yeah, I'm really glad that you asked. So the tours for sure. So last week I actually just signed 2 book contracts with my publisher.
Exciting. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Future book. Thank you. One is a DC Scavenger Hunt.
Oh, love that.
Talk about a map. That's going to have a map that kind of takes you neighborhood to neighborhood, and I'm going to be writing riddles and clues.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've actually already started it. It's super fun. And then after that, about DC restaurants and eateries and food, which is like, I'm just going to eat my way across the city and, surrounding Northern Virginia and Maryland, which what better job is there to write and eat?
Yes.
Well, I'll dig that book. I'm in the restaurant business, so I'm all about the foodies.
And I love this because it's like it's combining all these things. Like you see kind of the vision of this, and after you write all these books, imagine going on a scavenger hunt that was a history tour that you could eat during. And so on my scavenger hunt, they're like, stop at the oldest brothel and grab yourself a pizza. And it's all in one.
They're putting it all together, the full circle.
That's right.
Why not?
Right. Go have a drink, like taste this tasty cocktail at this restaurant that you recommend by the Supreme Court, and you unlock a clue. I love this so much.
It's kind of like, remember those Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Choose Your Own Adventure. Yes.
Yeah. I love those Choose Your Own Adventure. And you can like flip the pages, then you flip the other pages to see like, chose that adventure, what would have happened?
Yes. You are going to be a very busy lady. We have a lot of ideas, and this is really going to blow up. So we have at least 15 more things for you to do, clearly.
Clearly, I need to be like just a regular, on your show every Monday. I'll just have new ideas.
That's
for you.
right. There's so many things.
Sure.
I love this so much.
Yeah,
so what was the process like of writing a book? Was it hard to find a publisher? Was it hard to like...
So luckily, the publisher wasn't as hard to find just because my friend connected me with them. I mean, that was, I was very fortunate because I think for a lot of writers, that is a huge part of it, right? And so that actually was I don't want to say the easiest part, but it almost fell in my lap, right? So it was an opportunity that I was presented with.
Yeah.
What was nice about this book is because there are specific entries that are isolated, I could write one entry at a time, so I could write about one thing, kind of step away, or I would set a goal, this weekend my goal is to write 2 entries, right? And so that was kind of it gave me a start and an end. There was a lot of visiting. So, my husband was a very good sport and went to a lot of places with me, whether they were off the beaten path, like cemeteries or museums or monuments. So there was a lot of touring. I enlisted some friends who went on walking tours with me, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and just me locking myself in a room and working. You just have to do it. You have to lock yourself and have no distractions. The dog was in another room, my husband was in another room, and just to get down and read and write and research and take notes. And
sure. So how long have you lived in DC? How long have you been there?
We've been here for about 19 years.
19. So did this open up, unlock a whole new city for you?
So much.
It's you move to a new place and you're revisiting this place.
It's incredible. I've lived here for almost 20 years. I was a teacher for 17 years in DC. So, I went on countless field trips every year. So, and I am definitely someone who I am out and about, and I am always running or riding my bike or walking my dog. I go to these places, and yet I would say 80% of the places or stories in my book I didn't even know about. Before, is that crazy?
I know. It's so exciting.
It's like I discovered a brand new city. And then I wrote some about Virginia and Maryland too, which was fun too. Areas in Montgomery County and Arlington and Alexandria that I definitely didn't know about. So yeah, I feel like I discovered a whole new place that I didn't know about, even though I've been here for almost 20 years. It's incredible. Yeah.
Well, we are so excited to come and visit you. And as we wrap up, tell everybody where they can buy your book.
Yes. So my book is definitely available on Amazon or any local bookstores. I also have a website, secretdcbook.com. And on that website, of course, you can order my book. But it also has upcoming events. It has some stories that didn't make it into the book. So I feature other stories, some other blog posts I've done related to the book. So it's kind of a nice resource for all the things. But yeah, I have an event with Politics and Prose on May 25th. So I have an event with Solid State Books there on H Street in June. So kind of all over the place. But I would say either on Amazon, local bookstores, or my website, secretdcbook.com.
You guys, check out this book. If you're going to DC this summer, it's a must read.
Yes.
You can find about so many new things. Jamie and I are going to go down and do a tour and check that out when you have those up and going.
Yes.
So please send us any information and we will post it on our website and on our page so people can find you.
Yes.
Love that.
Send
I will
us that
send
stuff.
all the information. And once we iron out the tour dates, I will also send that to you as well. They should be finalized this week.
Awesome. And if you guys are getting married, if you have any up and coming weddings.
Wouldn't that be such a great book if you're bringing people in town?
If people are coming to town, make sure you stuff all your bags for the hotels with JoAnn's book. This would be awesome.
Or even if you're just having a house guest. When you leave the towel and a nice soap, leave the book, and then they can entertain themselves touring around DC.
That's right. So wedding planners, if you're watching, get 700 copies of this.
Yeah.
Not from Amazon, from JoAnn's website directly.
Yeah.
And then I'll sign them. If you buy them from me,
I love that. She'll even sign them. Forget Amazon out, JoAnn's website in. JoAnn, tell us your website one more time, please.
secretdcbook.com.
secretdcbook.com. Well, I'm going to order a copy, and Kelly and I will see you, and we will do the tour. I can't wait.
Excellent. I can't wait either. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, JoAnn.
One of the best Monday mornings I've had in a while.
You're so sweet.
You were such a joy. Come back and see us.
That's right. Come back and see us. Stay weird. Stay weird. I love these things.
Wonderful at the same time.
Weird and wonderful. You're right. Bye, girlfriend. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. What a doll.
She's so great.
She's awesome. That book sounds amazing.
I know. Who's calling you and not watching the show?
It's a telemarketer. Should I pick up this telemarketing call?
No. No.
She's
Let it go.
Let it go.
That was our song of the day.
It was our song of the day. I'm going to post a live video. It was a trio. It would have been a quartet, but Judah did not sing along. Judah. But he really liked it. Maybe he was just taking it all in. You know, he didn't want to sing and like overshadow us all, so he was just listening to the pure joy.
I bet Judah's a good singer.
You think so?
I don't know.
You know what I could see Judah doing? Like playing the guitar, hanging out with his dog with like a bourbon.
Oh, I didn't even see Liza. Where is Liza?
She's here. Judah, do you play the guitar?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Do you own a guitar? Do you own a guitar though?
Maybe he's more of a ukulele guy. But okay, now we're going down a rabbit.
That is not as sexy. A ukulele guy is not a little.
I can play a few songs on the
ukulele.
What
if you met like a really handsome guy and he was like, I'm going to pour us both a drink and we're going to sit down by the fireplace, and you're like, oh, this is getting good. And you're like, thank you so much. And then he takes that. He's like, I'm going to play you a song. And you're like, ooh, this is going to be like country, like Luke Bryan. And he's like, here's my piccolo.
We weren't doing piccolo.
You're like, no. You killed the mood. Like, no sexy guy plays a piccolo or a tiny ukulele.
Yes, it is. There's tons of sexy guys who play the ukulele. They're singers.
Here's
like famous people.
Tiny guitar. A 5-year-old girl plays this, and I stole it from her in America's Got Talent.
Jason Mraz plays the ukulele constantly. So,
first of all, I haven't spoken to Jason Mraz since the whole thing went down with Tristan Prettyman, because you know I love her, and they broke up, and Jason Mraz, his ukulele, and his stupid avocados are out.
I thought we didn't like Tristan Prettyman.
No, I do love her. She canceled because she's very busy with her son, but I do love her still. Jason Mraz is out. His stupid avocado farm and his stupid ukulele. After he broke up,
ukuleles and avocados, so I am the other team.
No.
Okay, should we do another quick interview with Elsa from Camp For Real?
Yeah, and then I have to get to news because I have a lot of funny news.
And I want to talk masks.
Talk masks. All right, I'm calling Elsa.
Okay, let's see. She's from Camp For Real. She's the nutritionist from Camp For Real.
The nutritionist.
Yeah, because they do lunches. Like,
good thing we're not drinking this morning. Getting a nutritionist on. Elsa, you're unavailable.
Oh, she's unavailable. I don't know what's happening. We've tried her.
Elsa.
I don't know. I'll try to text her right now. She says I'll stay at the computer. Well, you're not at the computer.
I'm trying.
That's okay. She's busy.
She is. She's a busy lady.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Good to see you.
Kelly.
So that is Jamie. You can't see me.
I'm Jamie. Kelly's over there. Kelly has the pink hair.
I was going to say, I haven't met either of you in person, so I don't know.
You can call me Kelly. At this point, we're the same person. It really doesn't matter.
Pretty much the same.
Totally fine. I've been called worse.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, you have. By me.
So, Elsa, tell us what's up with you. Tell us about Camp For Real. Tell us about nutrition. What's happening this summer?
So we have so many great camps this summer for Camp For Real. We're going to be at Miller School and Blue Ridge School, and traditionally Camp For Real has been in the Albemarle County public schools, kind of bouncing around and being available for people who are attending a particular school or live in an area of a particular school or just like going to a school, and then kids can go to any camp they want. And so obviously you don't have to be a student at Miller or Blue Ridge to go to camp this summer. But this summer, with COVID restrictions, we're sort of opening it up. And really, we did it last summer, and it's really fun because they have mountain bike trails. They have water. We incorporated water sports for a first kind of thing last summer. So it's really fun. The camp is a really active camp. So there's always PE teachers that run it. Scott Williams was an amazing PE teacher for 13 years, I think, at Meriwether Lewis. He can set the record straight on the number of years. I think that's the right number of years. And has just amazing PE teacher collaborators. And, you say PE, and I don't know, some people's eyes gloss over, maybe some kids' eyes gloss over, but it's definitely a whole nother level. They create all the games for the camp. They're incredibly, incredibly creative and just so much fun. My kids never enjoyed PE much, but absolutely loved Camp For Real.
My youngest, really I ask her, I'm like, what's your favorite subject? She says PE or recess. It's a mix of PE and recess.
Right. Yeah, if you love recess and you love fun and games and, learning a little bit on the side, sort of surreptitiously learning some health and nutrition concepts, and also just if you're a parent that wants your kids to be tuckered out and, full of good food, it's definitely
What can I send my husband? What age do you have? Is there a cutoff? Because I'd really just like him to
He can go with Rory. Rory and him are like BFFs.
Just like babysit him for at least 8 hours. He comes home, he eats and goes to bed. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. That's what you're looking for. Unfortunately, I think he's a little too old.
Sorry, Rod.
It's rising kindergartners through rising 7th, I believe.
Rising 7th.
And so all the way through the sort of elementary years and into the beginning of middle school.
He'll fit right in. He acts exactly that age, so I think he'll be perfect. You're going to love him. So I'll sign up today. So tell us what a day at Camp for Real looks like.
Yeah.
I get to the camp. What am I doing today?
So a lot of kids come before camp officially starts. There's a sort of a half an hour-ish of kids arriving, and that's like free play. So there's this free, unstructured, and they love that. We break out all kinds of fun little scooter equipment and, noodles and whatever. So they can kind of just romp around, and the kids are always creating some sort of games, and there's lots of activities that are sort of loosely structured in the beginning. And then, camp it's a little bit, we used to have, so going back probably next year, it'll be sort of a half-hour outside activity, half-hour inside, half-hour outside, half-hour inside. So you would do that 8:30, 9:30. So there's an alternation. We're still doing that, but we're spending more time outside now because it's just safer, right? And it's just more fun. Like we have the water options now, and the mountain bike trails. I mean, it's just really different at these schools that have a lot more space and green space around them. It opens up this huge world of possibilities for more outdoors. So it's not a half hour on and off, but we do give kids breaks because it's hard to be outside for hours, and so we're outside for chunks of time, long chunks of time, inside for smaller chunks of time. And there's a few of those, and then it's
when do we get to eat? Because I'm already hungry. I've been outside all day. You're bringing me inside. You're bringing me outside. I've done the jumping jacks, but now I'm hungry. What do I eat?
Right. And definitely not jumping. It's like totally games. It's definitely not like sort of, it's not PE. It's just that there's
I made it like it's boot camp. When you're done with boot camp for the morning, when do we eat?
So you get hungry, right? The kids get hungry. They have their water bottles. They've got their sunscreen. They're good to go, but they're getting hungry. So what we usually do is bring in the younger kids first. They can't wait as long. And so we usually have the sort of, rising kindergarten or rising third-ish graders together as a group, and then we'll have the 3rd to 7th as a group. And so we have our rising stars and then our all-stars. So the rising stars will come in. I know, it's great. I take no credit for the naming. That's all Scott Williams. So rising stars come in. I do feed them though. And so we have snack time is big. They get like 45 minutes or so. It's kind of a big deal. And the kids get to, so it's all real food. This is an old Camp for Real shirt, old and well loved. Real food, real fun, real active, real awesome. So it's only real food, all whole foods, all plant-based, and we don't do GMO oils added in there. No preservatives. It's really wholesome stuff. And so, but the fun thing from the kids' perspective, they're not really so interested in that. They get a lot of choices. So for example, let's say we're doing like a fruit wrap. So I have my whole wheat tortillas, right? And they've got those. And if they don't want a tortilla, okay, fine. We've got our nut butters, sometimes peanut butter, sometimes we just don't do that, right? With allergies these days. Sometimes we have almond butter, sometimes we don't. So we're always really sensitive with dietary restrictions. So ahead of time we would know. Sometimes we don't carry any nuts at all. We would only have sunflower seed butter.
Oh, sun butter. My daughter is all nut allergic. Sun butter is delicious.
So, so we there's all these delicious options, but some camps we just don't even bring them to be safe for those campers that need those restrictions. So at any rate, sunflower seed butter is delicious, and it's made in a nut-free facility, and it's safe. And so I talked with the parents beforehand if there's any restrictions, but at any rate, we've got some nut butter, and then we've got our dried fruit, shredded coconut, maybe unsweetened, all kinds of crunchy, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, things maybe people haven't really tried, and cut strawberries and cut bananas and cut blueberries. And, the kids, they don't have to get it all, but they can. They get a Superman or a Wonder Woman, if they want to get everything and try that, that's cool. If they want to just try, sunflower seed butter and strawberries, that's fine. So the kids choose and they make their own, right? So the little guys, we help them,
So
wrap it up
awesome.
at the end. We've got amazing teenage helpers who have done camp. They've come through the ranks. They did it for years. They loved it. And now they help. They run around. They roll wraps. They, take pictures of kids' crazy food creations, whatever it is. So anyway, snack is big. Those guys head out. We get the bigger kids in. We've got our all-stars. We feed them. They have another long chunk of time. Meanwhile, the other guys are outside. They're playing. And so it's just a, back and forth. And you stay with your 3 to 4 year span group. A lot of kids, they get buddied up, and you have a rising star is buddied with an all-star, and they'll check in throughout the day. So the older ones will kind of, help the younger ones along, feel more comfortable, and know the ropes. You got to learn the ropes. So
these are week-long camps.
Yeah, and then we feed them lunch. Oh, right. You asked me about a typical day. I forgot. Then we have lunch, right? A couple hours more of playing. Then they have lunch. Sometimes lunch is everyone together. Sometimes we do 2 groups again, depending on, what's going on. But usually we have 2 groups. And again, lunch is the same idea, but again, lots of choices, real food, whatever the deal is. And then again, more playing, and it's and it wraps up, a couple hours after lunch.
I think my child would come home exhausted.
Yeah.
I would put her in the bath,
Exhausted.
and then I bet she would go straight to bed. So look for her. She will be there at the first camp.
Yeah.
And the June 7th camp.
June 7th. So we're starting really soon. Our first week is June 7th. That's in just 2 weeks. So it's really coming up. It's really coming up fast. And then we're going all through the summer. We even have one July 5th week, which we don't usually have. So we've got them all through the week, all the way into August. So, and you're totally right, Kelly. I think that was you talking, right? I can't see you, but the kids come home. They're tuckered out. They're full of really good food. And a lot of times they have, they have questions and ideas about like, hey, let's try, blueberries. I didn't know I liked them. Or, hey, like I had a celery stick with, almonds or whatever on it, and it was great. And so sometimes they're wanting to try something new, and sometimes they're just excited about, proud of themselves for, trying something new. So it is a really fun. I love doing the food part. We talked to them a little bit about, some healthy food choices and why we choose some of the foods we do. But mostly that comes in the form of the games that Scott Williams and others have designed so that it's just fun for them. So it kind of gets in through osmosis, just from the games.
Awesome. And I love this. So I'm looking at the website right now. So
how can people sign up?
So campforreal.com. So it's a 4, the number 4, not FOR. So camp4, the number 4, real.com. That's our website. But then we're also on Facebook. And that will direct you then to the website, and it says registration, right? So you can, are you seeing that, Jamie? There's a place to register. You can check out some really fun pictures and videos. So there's all kinds of, you can see a lot of them are from last year. So that's going to be current for this year in terms of the setting and the types of activities.
This looks amazing.
Because it really did change. It did change a lot last year. Real.com or on Facebook, Camp for Real. So
love it.
All kinds of, it's really fun.
I love it.
Guys, if you have kids and you're looking for something fun and active and healthy and something for them to do that is not in your house, check out Camp for Real. My 7-year-old will be there in June. I know she's looking forward to it.
Yes.
So everybody check out Camp for Real. Sign up your kiddos. Spots are limited. What?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I look forward to feeding them good, healthy food and like helping them run around and get their yayas out and get out of your house. And
yes, please.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much, Elsa. Good luck this summer. I hope you guys have so much fun.
Thank you. It's going to be great.
Good to see you guys. Check out.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're getting some questions.
Oh, hang on, Elsa.
People are wanting to know.
Question at the beginning, Jamie.
If there's space available for campers right now.
Oh yes, there's definitely space. A few of them have sold out, and that's why we added. So I know we added the July 5th week because we had sold out some of the weeks. So I think if they go to register and find that something is sold out, they could send a note to, there's an email address there on the webpage, and so they could send a note. I think we're doing a wait list, And then again, we did add some more camps. So you may end up needing to do a different week than maybe the first choice week, but it's all summer. So there are definitely only a few weeks that are filled up.
Yeah, because James Watson wanted to know, and he's saying you are an amazing tutor.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, I tutored his daughter for some years, and hopefully maybe his kids will come to camp. That'd be fun.
Yeah, James, there's space available. Sign up your kids now. Not a lot of space.
The boys, and it's always fun to see people from the community that I know, and I run in these shirts all the time, and people, little kids who now sometimes they're teenagers, and they say, "I remember you, Miss Elsa. You do the food at Camp for Real," and it's so fun. Like all over town, kids are like, "Oh, you're the food person at Camp for Real," which is not always like how I would describe myself.
That's what you've always wanted to be, the food person.
When I was a kid. No, it's super fun. So I would love to see any and all past former kids, but also new ones who have never come. It's just,
this looks like a blast. This looks like so much fun. It reminds me of when I went to camp when I was a kid. Yeah. So I love
guys,
camp.
sign up. Get all your healthy food from the food lady, Elsa. It's delicious. It's fun. Your kids will come home tired. It is worth every penny.
That's right.
So thank you.
Campforreal.com. Camp number 4. Campforreal.com.
And we are keeping up with the COVID protocols and whatnot. All camps, are just in the process of revising all of that. And, so we're definitely going to keep current with all of that just in case that needs to come on the radar,
Great. Awesome. All right. Well, good luck this summer. We will talk to you soon. Thanks, Elsa. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks. It was great to chat
with you guys. Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a super fun camp.
It sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish there was
kids love camp.
I know. Kids do love camp. I wish there was an adult version.
There is. Do you know there are adult weekend camps?
Really?
Yes, for adults.
Really?
And you go and they have bars but you do the camp stuff. Like
Jamaica.
I was just saying it's called Jamaica.
It's called Kelly's 40th.
Yeah.
Kelly's 40th birthday.
Oh, there's an alarm going off on my phone. I thought it was. It's reminding me. It says, "Stay strong. Drink water."
What are you drinking?
Vodka.
Vodka. She has vodka. That's why she doesn't have a clear cup.
The thing with this
Talking
alarm
vodka.
is that it goes off on my phone and I don't know how to shut it off. So I'm going to throw that over there and hope that you can hear it.
Okay, so let's do the news. First of all, the CDC has changed the guidelines on the mask wearing.
Yes.
Which is very confusing.
They basically said, it is what it is, wear it or don't. We
don't
don't care. It's been over a year and we're going on vacation. We're not going to monitor the
so
shit.
if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
But who knows who's vaccinated and who's not? And we're trusting Americans to go by the honor code?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's like the
never gonna
CDC just got, you know what it was like? It was like the CDC all got drunk. They were like, we're working a late night. Let's do some shots. And they did it and they got on Twitter and they're like, you know what?
Who cares about masks?
We forget you. And they all went on vacation. They were like, we can't take it anymore. Wear a mask or don't.
Listen. I don't know. Listen, maybe this is political. Vaccines and masks shouldn't be politicized, in my opinion. It's not political for me.
Are you still wearing a mask?
Well, I am.
Are you going to wear a mask forever?
I might.
I know.
It keeps my face warm. I save money on makeup. No one knows who I am if I'm acting like an idiot somewhere.
Yeah.
No one can see now it's kind of obvious. Right. No, and my glasses, that's the problem. Even with the mask, my glasses always give it away, so people notice.
Yeah. I think so. We were talking before, I'm gonna wear a mask inside.
That's
if I go
into
a store, I'm gonna wear a mask. I think outside, we're gonna, kind of let up a little bit. But at this point, it's for them to just say don't wear a mask, and knowing you have to monitor yourselves. Everyone's just gonna. There's no way to keep track of it.
No,
I mean we can't
and
monitor
all
ourselves.
The variances, in India, there's variances coming from India. Do we know if the shot? Well, anyway, my teen is getting her first vaccine tomorrow. She's 13. I'm very excited.
I'm sure
she's very excited
too. I mean, human beings really cannot monitor themselves.
Yes, they can. It's just the United States that they can't. If you go to Germany, if there is a rule, all of the German people follow it. And if you're there and you don't follow it, people will yell at you.
Really?
Like normal citizens. Yes.
I mean, I feel like we just can't, if it's a free-for-all, like we have stoplights, because like we're not going to just be in a rush and be like, hey, you know what, just keep going, the flow of traffic. Like we need people to be like, this isn't a thing.
People can't even drive on the correct side of the road. People can't even
Right.
ride their bikes or walk on the correct side of the road.
People can't even put back a shopping cart
That's
at
what
the
I'm saying.
grocery store
And
into the bin.
That's so
I don't
no.
think we're going to be able to monitor. So now what happens? Is it just kind of like if you're vaccinated, you're not wearing a mask, and then if you are not vaccinated and you don't have a mask, do you just get sick?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's up to them. It's called survival of the smartest.
Like
Is
if
what it's
you,
called. Survival of the smartest.
And
I
then
mean,
you
listen,
just,
I got vaccinated. I feel like that's a smart decision for myself. And I am going to wear a mask inside with crowds. So
Yeah.
if you're not vaccinated and you don't want to wear a mask and you get sick and die, well, that's on you.
yeah.
Like, that's not on me. I didn't get you
did-
sick because I got vaccinated and I'm wearing the mask. But now the problem is, if I wear the mask,
Yeah.
are people going to think I'm not vaccinated?
Right? No,
So,
no
like-
one is going to think that you are not vaccinated. I think that
People
it's
that
safe
don't know
to say
me.
the entire community knows that you are vaccinated. We launched a covert mission in, what was the place that you wanted me to go to get vaccinated?
I don't remember. It was somewhere weird that I've never heard of before.
Old Collingburg or something that you wanted me to go. Every morning you would call, Collingburg is open, Jamie. It's 5:30 in the morning. Go to Collingsburg. Kelly, I don't know where Collingsburg is. I'm not driving 6 hours. No, you got to go to Collingsburg.
I don't think it was Collingsburg.
What was
But I
that?
get your point.
What was that place called that you wanted me to go?
I don't know.
No,
it wasn't
no.
Lynchburg.
It was somewhere
It was
else.
somewhere far.
It was like Clarksville.
Yeah,
that was
it
at
was
one of them.
Clarksville.
Clarksville.
I don't know where Clarksville is.
Yeah, and I was like, I still don't even know. I have learned, getting the vaccine, I have learned every city in Virginia from Kelly because I have never heard of Clarksville. I still don't even know. I know.
Yes.
I was like, maybe
I was texting Jerry all the time. I'd be like, Jerry, here's vaccination sites. Wasn't I, Jerry? I was on it. Do you know, I'm not kidding, I think I got 30 of my friends' appointments. Because I'd be up in the middle of the night, and so I'd be checking like the
I
vaccines,
know.
and I would text them. And then they would respond back at like 3 in the morning being like, thank you so much, I'm awake now, and I'm going to make an appointment.
Wouldn't it have been funny if I actually went to like Gorgonzola Cheeseville and I was sitting in like the CVS and I'm like, and then I turn around and I'm like, Kelsey, what are you doing here?
My
And you're like,
friends.
Kelly? It's like every one of your friends is in like Gorgonzola Swissville.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, they were happy I found them shots that they didn't have to.
I bet. No, it was like an undercover. It was like, what was it when we abolished alcohol?
Prohibition.
Prohibition. It was like prohibition. And we were like, I felt like I was in the underground bunker. Like, I got the shot. But I got it. I was doing it.
I mean, there you go. Okay, you said you had a lot of
I have some news for you. I have funny news this week. So
can't
this
wait.
is going to be good. So this little boy, a 4-year-old boy, he's autistic. He went on his mom's phone and ordered $2,600 worth of SpongeBob SquarePants popsicles from Amazon. So he went on his mom's phone. He ordered $2,600 worth of popsicles, and
That's
he
a lot of
somehow
popsicles.
ordered them to his aunt's house. So when they arrived, like she was like,
what?
what the hell? And she's like, she's going to school. She has like 2 other kids. And she was like, we can't afford $2,600 in popsicles. So she called Amazon, and Amazon was like, you can't return their popsicles.
Right.
You can't be.
And how are they delivering cold items like that?
$2,600 of SpongeBob SquarePants popsicles that he ordered, 4 years old. But they started a GoFundMe page, and they raised over $10,000. And that's going to go toward his education and his college tuition.
And pay back his mom for
The popsicle. And there's all these cute pictures of him just like with his popsicle. He's so happy.
That's so funny.
So this is another funny one. A woman in Poland, she called animal control over a tree creature that she saw. It was outside her house, and she was looking up.
Was it called a squirrel?
She saw it, and it wasn't moving. She said it's been there for 2 days. She called, and she said it's been sitting in the tree. It's been there for 2 days. People don't open the windows because they're afraid it's going to enter the house. This is a really big problem. It's stuck up in the tree. And so the fire trucks came. Everyone came, animal control, and it turns out it was a croissant.
What?
Someone
Wait, what?
Someone threw. The police think that they were trying to feed the birds, and they tossed out a croissant, and the croissant was stuck in the tree. But it was so high up, she couldn't tell, and she thought it was like this animal, and everyone was terrified. So the fire department came.
That would be you, Jamie.
And they got the croissant down.
Jamie, that is something you would do.
I thought that was so funny.
That is so funny.
I know. I loved it so much. So the title of it is Woman Calls Animal Control Over a Tree Creature That Was Actually a Croissant. I loved it so much.
I think that's good.
So Judah, can you get this picture on screen, please? This is the newest trend for summer, and I think you're going to see it here in a second.
Okay.
Long fake toenails.
Oh my God!
Are the summer's hottest trend?
No.
People are getting
no. Oh no! Look at the yellow one, Jerry. Oh no!
This is the summer's hottest trend.
No, where did you find this?
Yeah, this is news. This is breaking news on women changing our world.
I don't think it's going to be a hot trend. First of all, I think for sure, Jerry. First of all, I think anklets are out and toe rings are definitely out.
No.
So whoever's sporting these toenails obviously don't care about trends.
I love the color. But here's the problem. What kind of shoes do you have to wear? Because you don't
Flip-flops.
because you don't want your toenails to poke the top of your shoe because that would ruin your manicure toe.
Jamie, what site did you find this on?
This is breaking news from CNN.com.
Yeah. No, was this really from CNN?
No, Kelly, it is not. But this is the summer's new hottest trend. So tell us in the comments, do you like it?
No.
Will you extend your toenails or let them grow so long?
Oh, your dad is saying yucko. I love that he put the O at the end. Yucko. I agree, Bob.
Here's a funny
yucko.
So a funny story about long toenails. My aunt's gonna kill me that I'm telling this story, but it's so funny.
Does she have long toenails?
So my uncle you know how my uncle's from Italy, and he has this very thick Italian accent, and he's always like messing up words and doing all this stuff, and he's very, very funny. Anyway, so my aunt was wearing flip-flops the other day, and they went out for lunch, and my aunt, she hit the curb with her flip-flop, and she fell. And she skinned her knee, and she was hurt. And she was like, "Oh my God, right? She fell. It was awful." So my uncle started yelling at her and said, "Your toenails are too long." And told her that her toenails were so long that's why she tripped. And she was like, "My toenails aren't that long." And he goes, "Your toenails are too long. That's why you tripped." And my aunt said, "I'm sitting on the floor. My knee is all bruised." And he's screaming at me in the parking that our toenails are too long.
Well, there you go.
So anyway, all right. I have a list of the worst Starbucks orders. So is this the most obnoxious Starbucks order of all time?
Kimberly Kennedy, our top fan, says disgusting. I agree, Kimberly.
You could have long toenails. You could go out on the sailboat. You can go to the regatta on Lake Champlain. I bet people have long toenails. Maybe.
Okay, go.
Maybe in Jamaica. That's what I'm going to get everyone in Jamaica.
God, no.
I'm going to get everyone fake toenails. And we're all going to paint each other's toenails.
Press-on toenails?
Yes.
No.
And we're going to have a paint party, and we're going to just all paint each other's long toenails.
No. I'm not touching anybody's feet. Starbucks orders. Go.
Starbucks orders. Okay, this guy ordered a venti. I don't even know. I can't pronounce this, but he ordered some sort of a coffee. Sugar, extra 2% milk, extra heavy cream, extra whip, stevia, add cold foam, 3 pumps honey blend, cocoa powder, vanilla scalding cold foam, vanilla powder, 3 pumps caramel sauce, equal 2 pumps vanilla in a venti cup with caramel syrup.
Who would, what? If I was the barista, I'd be like,
yep.
Say something that's unkind.
And apparently there's this whole
show.
feed of people that order this, and Katie Camlin, who is a barista, she said one time someone asked her for 27 pumps of vanilla and watched her count every single one.
Shut your mouth.
And the list
Why
goes
don't you just
on.
go to Panera and get a regular hazelnut coffee and be done with it?
Right. You gotta give up all the cream. I just drink
the
straight black coffee.
Ew.
Because I'm coming out of my cocoon and becoming the butterfly that I've always
Are you still
been meant to
drinking
be.
your juice?
I haven't drank celery juice in a couple of days, but I'm back on black coffee and feeling better than ever.
I mean, I don't know. I don't drink coffee anymore.
Really?
I mean, occasionally I might have a decaf if I'm cold.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott Williams from Camp for Real is
Hi,
saying,
Scott Williams.
we're in the midst of planning our first adult camp before COVID hit last year.
Oh my
Look
God.
for it in 2022.
Scott.
Scott, first of all, that'll be super fun. Jamie and I will come, but will there be like adult drinks?
Yeah, Scott, if you do an adult camp, Kelly and I will be the first ones to sign up. I'm down with that.
If there's like,
But what if they make us play like flag football?
that's fun.
We're going to be like, ah! Like running around. We're not going to know how to play flag
I know
football.
how to play flag football.
You're going to play football? I'm not. I'm going to like,
I am.
this,
Scott, if you're still watching, can we do like beer relays and beer kickball? Like, you know, you do. Have you seen that? It's the
Didn't they-
funnest. So you do like the baseball diamond, but you make them all slip and slides.
Yeah.
On each side, and then you have a beer at each one that you have to drink before you can slide to the next.
That could be fun.
Don't you
I like
think
that.
that'd be fun, Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry would do it. Jerry? Yeah.
As long as it's not a sports camp, because this takes me back to when
it's like an adventure sports
But
camp.
like, if there's no drinking, then it takes me back to like first grade when I'm like, sorry, Scott, I wore a skirt today. I'm not going to be able to play. Like, I'm going to be 40 years old and I'm still like, I can't play, Scott. I didn't wear the right
Okay,
thing.
maybe camp's not for you.
Yeah.
Who do we have on next week? Do we have anyone booked for next week yet?
Who is on next week? Yes. We are going to have Sasha on. So Sasha is amazing. She has this crazy story. She is dealing with kind of a little bit of a sad story. Her husband or boyfriend is dealing with some mental health stuff. So she has a story about that, and she promotes mental health awareness, and she's amazing. I follow her on TikTok. I love her so much.
Ooh, cool.
She's going to be on sharing her story.
Mental health is important.
Mental health is very important about what she's been going through. She's amazing. And so if you follow her on TikTok, we have a lot of good people coming up.
Yeah. Who else do we have coming up? Or did you just make that up?
No. I'm also I'm trying to get this woman who I love. I'm not going to mention her name. Who I also follow. She actually was in prison for 2 years. I'm not going to tell you her story. She's
Okay.
amazing.
Did she kill someone?
She did not kill someone.
Oh, well, disappointing.
But she has a crazy story, and she tells you all about the ins and outs of prison, what that was like. She answers a lot of questions on her TikTok of, do people have girlfriends? What it's like in a correctional facility? Do the guards get involved? Do the guards have relationships with the inmates?
Yes, they do.
all
Haven't you watched
kinds of
like
stuff.
Locked Up Abroad or whatever
Yeah.
on any of those shows?
So she tells
That's
the story.
interesting.
How do you shower? How do you poop in prison?
I think at some point you either just got to go.
You got to go. Like it was when I got here this morning, and I really had to pee, and I didn't know if Judah was going to let me in, but he did.
Listen, I would die because I have poop fright, so I would never be able to poop in prison.
Oh, you'd be.
I'd be dead.
The
I'd be like backed up to death.
You'd die from just like poop, from just like.
I think it would like impacted colon, whatever they would call that.
Can you? God forbid. Has anyone ever died from that?
I mean,
You're
probably.
like, he passed away because he just filled with poop. Could you fill up and it like throw it up?
Ooh, do you know what? Okay, we're really going down a rabbit hole. We got to wrap it up. Yeah, okay. We got to wrap it up. Guys, we hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy the weather outside, at least here in Virginia. It's going to be 90 degrees. We look forward to seeing you
God.
next Monday, same time, same place.
That's
I am
right.
Kelly,
I am Jamie.
and we're women changing our world.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. And let us know if you're going to extend your
No
toenails.
one's getting the toenails.
Toenails this summer. I want to
Toenails are
see
out.
your extended toenails.
Gross, no.
Have a great week, everyone. Thanks
Bye.
for tuning in.
Oh, no one is getting the toenails.
Let
Jamie.
it go. Let it go. John.